Alright, hello. My name is Meepmonk. I'm a rank 1 Mistweaver, and this is going to be my fully comprehensive Mistweaver guide for patch 11.0.5. I think that's a patch. That'll be in the title. I just don't remember it off the top of my head right. But basically, Mistweaver got a lot of changes. Really good. We also got MMR buff today, so I went from like 2100 to 2400 in a day. So yeah, Mistweavers have been doing pretty good. And yeah, we had a lot of talent changes, a lot of everything changes, and some people in my chat today, in my stream, were a little bit confused about how all this works. So I'm gonna sit here, and ideally this would be around like a little over half an hour, maybe between half an hour, 40 minutes. Hopefully it doesn't go over. Of basically how these new talents work, what you guys should check into. So yeah, we're gonna start off our guide by just real quickly reviewing the left tree and the very few that were made. So obviously, and dismissed, para, all of this, very basic. You guys can read these abilities yourself for the most part. Tiger's Lust, this is helpful for using on your allies. You can beat up a warrior who's in a root, get him out of the root, etc. You can also use it on yourself to get enemies. Very, very versatile ability. I think it's fantastic. Definitely need to take this one. Don't really have much of a choice either. Great ability right here. Increased healing by taken by 4%. This is probably one of my favorite talents on the left tree. Every 10 seconds, you get an instant cast Vivify. This can be very helpful to not allow you to have to sit and cast a lot. Great, and also one of the reasons why we're not going to play Elusive Mists anymore, because while you're channeling Soothing Mist, all damage taken by you and your target reduced by 6%. We don't really channel anymore. It's just, it's mostly instant casts, especially when we're spec'd into Master of Harmony and have 2 stacks of HP. So, anyways, yeah, this talent, it's great for being able to stay mobile and moving around without casting, causes you to not have to fake a lot of kicks. And then G-Wave, normally, by itself, this talent would be bad, but it does good with the hero tree in Master of Harmony, so I'll explain that when we get to the hero tree. Now here, quick-footed, this doesn't really matter. I guess it's nice to have the duration reduced by 20% for like Chains of Ice and stuff, but it's mainly to just get to save them all, because right here, healing an ally below 35% health, you get 10% more additional healing for the next 4 seconds. Pretty good healing increase when your teammates are dying, you know? Makes sense. Chief proficiency, 4% more healing. And now, some people like to spec into lighter than air. I don't really think it's necessary. I don't have issues with kiting. Instead, I choose to play Flow of Chi. There's just not enough points on the left tree to spec into all I want. So, Flow of Chi. Plus, I mean, this is Flow of Chi. Just, it does what it says. Below 35% health, you get healing received. Increased by 10%, only for yourself. But it's still good. Healing when you're dying, it's great. Damage reduced by 5% when you're between 90 and 35% health. Thank you. You get movement speed above 90% when you're trying to like run in for an incap or something. Yeah, diffuse magic better than Yu'lon's Grace. If you play Yu'lon's Grace, you're trolling. This is great because you can diffuse magic out of roots and stuff. You can also get rid of Aflock dots, SP dots, dots in general. It's great talent. Love this one. Then we're going to head back to the top real quick. Crashing Momentum. This is just, we have to get somewhere, and Disable is not an extra find in a global that we want to spend. So the passive, targets you roll through are snared, is good. You know, it can proc it useful times if you accidentally roll through people. I don't try to intentionally roll through people to proc this, but if I accidentally do it, that's great. That's fantastic. Reduces all damage taken by 6%. Really good talent. That does. Your hand strike. This is great. You can just kick stuff, like let's say a mage is blinking at you. You can maybe kick his polymorph cast. You can kick a void torrent from an SP. Kick a mind control. You can kick lots of things. Really helpful. It's nice to have a kick. Ancient Arts, you just have to spec into this to make incap 30 seconds again, and your sweep 50. We played Chi Torpedo. I don't like Celerity. Roll is pretty bad. Chi Torpedo, I like it. It's better. It's preference, but it's also it's the best one to play. Roll doesn't well. Proof Touch of Death, so Touch of Death kills people. Dance of the Wind. This talent is really annoying. If you want to be an absolute prick, play this talent, because everybody will hate you if you play this talent. Basically, when you're in combat, or out of combat even, you have a chance to stack up this. And you might be thinking, oh, well, this isn't that important. Dodge chance increased by 90% until you dodge an attack. Well, that's fine. It's only one attack. I'm sure they'll have more attacks. But this is really annoying when, let's say you're fighting a rogue, and the rogue tries to step kidney you, and you have 9 stacks of this. You dodge his kidney shot. You dodge his kidney. You immune that. Or a cheap shot even. Or a storm bolt. Or a maim from a feral druid. And then as soon as you use it, I gotta go to like one of the PvP dummies, it recharges really quickly. So you have like a 10% RNG chance to be like, oh, well, I just see right there, it procs again. 10% chance to dodge an attack. So you just have a chance to dodge a stun, like literally every time. This thing is so broken. Should always be playing it. And Celestial Determination, basically, when you spec into Yulon, his special ability is that Enveloping Mist costs 50% less mana, and that's fantastic. It helps us maintain our mana and not as easily. But then Chi-Ji, which is mainly for Fistweaver. Fistweaver isn't really a thing anymore, but what kind of is, but I'll get into it later. It would make you immune to movement impairing effects. So if you play Yulon, you don't really get that movement impairing effects thing. But with Celestial Determination, when you pop your thing, you cannot be slowed below 90 movement speed. So let's say you're fighting a Death Knight and he's Chains of Icing you. You can pop your Yulon, and you're pretty much moving at normal walking speed. If you Torpedo, you're good. You get a 30% increase. Walking faster than normal. And he can't really slow you catch up, which is very important for fighting DKs and anything that slows you to me, even warriors. So yeah, spec into port. Port is port. We know how it works. Drop it, use it, teleport to your here. Time with another talent that I'll get into in a second. Decent prosperity. I just like that. You get 5 seconds off of your piece. Ring of Peace is an incredibly versatile ability. Place it anywhere on the map, which makes it have a lot of uses. You can place it on your teammates. You can place it on your enemies. A lot of things. You drop it, knocks enemies that defensively. You can drop like melee off of your Shadow Priest, or you can drop a healer against a pillar so that he can't cast. It's absolutely. So yeah, anyways, getting into Fort Brew. This is your main defensive for when people hit you. It increases health by 30%. That's just what it does. It's tanky defensive. Makes you tanky, makes you take less damage when you pop it. When you're in trouble or you're getting trained, pop it and you won't die for another 15 seconds probably until it falls. Or you can top yourself. Then we got Jade Serpent Statue. This is great because it cooperates with Calming Coalescence. Oh wait, they changed it. Anyways, yeah, Jade Statue. Pop it down. Soothing Mist. Yeah, Soothing. Pretty fire. Extra healing. Cool. Great. Boom. Alright. So, Jade Statue, bounce back. Basically, this just prevents you from getting one shot, even though you still get one shot anyways. When you get hit for more than 12% of your max health, you get 40% damage reduction. So, like, let's say you're getting hard swapped, a little damage reduction to hopefully stop it. And then the last talent on the left tree, Escape from Reality. This allows you, when you drop down your port with Transcendence, roll away, and then you pop your Transcendence transfer, you teleport to the location you dropped your port, and then you can use it again within 10 seconds with no cooldown. And then as soon as you use that, it starts down. Pretty cool. I like this for being able to just move around a lot. Let's say you port away from a warrior, he leaps on top of you, you port back, and you outplayed him. He sucks. So yeah. Now let's move into the right tree. Enveloping Mist, yup. Thunder Focus Tea, we know what these do. Mana Tea, real quick review of this. This is your main mana regenerator. You use this to get mana back and to not It's right here. Basically, every time you spend 1,000 mana, as it says, you get a stack of Mana Tea, and you have a chance to duplicate a stack or generate an extra stack equal to your crit chance. So that's 7% crit. I have a 7% chance to get an extra stack whenever I proc my Mana Tea. Pretty cool. And then when you pop these mana T stacks, actually get a lot of mana back from them. Here, I'm gonna real quick spend a lot of mana, and I'm gonna pop 10 mana. You know what? We're just going all the way. Come on, spam this, and then we're gonna pop our mana T, and this is going to give us a lot of mana back. Look at all that mana. Got like 30% mana from that. And then it also will give you an a buff for however many stacks you had. Let's say I had 12 stacks there, I would get 12 seconds of mana T. Basically, when you have mana T, the cost of your spells are reduced by 10%. Usually, you want to pop your mana T stacks before just pressing anything, to be honest. If you can keep your mana T stacks at 0, that means you're optimizing perfectly. You don't have to deal with having an overflow of mana T stacks, having like 15 stacks, and then you don't get to utilize your mana T as well. So yeah, you're gonna try and pop them as soon as you can. Try not to pop it at 1 stack. You can pop it at 2 to 3 stacks and let it stack up to like 10 times. It's fine. In some of my games, it stacks up to 10 times. We're just taking a lot of damage. It's really hard to heal through it, and I don't have globals to press mana T. As sad as that is, that's just a scenario sometimes. So yeah, that's how mana T works. Revival's trash now, since it only dispels 5 targets now, or 5 abilities. Sucks. Or clears them of 3 harmful magic effects. It's just really sad how they butchered this ability from being able to like dispel every single dot from an Athlock and a Shadow Priest on your whole team to only being able to dispel 3. So yeah, you guys don't play Revival anymore. It's not worth it. Play Restoral. You can use it while you're in a stun. Helps you from getting one shot. Revival is dead. No more Revival. Now we spec into this, just all the way down. Healing elixirs, passive. You get caught in a stun. They proc. Get low. They proc. They just heal you for health. Little passive. Stay alive. Pretty simple. Rapid diffusion. Whenever you press enveloping mist, you can proc this renewing mist. And with this talent right here, whenever you press renewing mist, target's healing received is increased by 50% for the. Oh, is that the right one? That is. Okay. That is the right one. So basically, you get a big healing modifier whenever you press enveloping mist. So yeah. That's great. I can pop this right here. I'm going to get my 40% modifier from enveloping mist, and then I'm going 25 in PvP. Sorry, 25% modifier. So I'm going to get 65% increased healing whenever I press soothing mist, enveloping mist, or even thunder focus T, enveloping mist. And basically, this allows me to like prep up a big vivify, or in the case of the new patch, a big crackling jade lightning atonement heal with jade fire teachings, which I'll get into in a second. Maybe didn't make quite a little sense, but I'll get into it, I promise. Second to life cocoon, obviously, and now they changed these two. Refreshment used to be trash, still kind of is trash. And calming coalescence no longer stacks up to 50 stacks. It's just simply your life cocoon is increased by 80%. It's no longer, oh, you just stack this whenever you soothing mist all the way up to 50 stacks, and if you have to cocoon in the opener, you're screwed because you don't have enough time to get those stacks. And those stacks were usually passively regenerated by your Jade statue because you cast soothing mist a lot anymore. So yeah, it's nice to just have this to be that. Unfortunately, it was nerfed from 100% to 80% today. So we did lose 20% on our life cocoon. So our cooldowns have been really taking the hit lately, with Restoral going from 1.5 minute cooldown to a 2.5 minute cooldown, and to life cocoon. Like, anyways, spec in the Mist of Life and Chrysalis just get a shorter cooldown. Like, you have it back. And then Energizing Brew, you spec into this, gives you more mana on your mana T, channels quicker just to help you keep up with the pace of the game. And now Yulon, this is your Celestial. This is like your big boy, except it's kind of not. But you gotta spec into it. It's, it does help. Whenever you pop this, you get, where's she? There we go. Celestial Harmony. It was named Chi. Oh wait, no, there we go. Alright. Celestial Harmony. When activated, Yulon and Chi-Ji apply Chi Cocoons to 5 targets within 40 yards, absorbing 685k damage for 10 seconds. This is pretty good shield. You know, I'll pop it right now on myself. Chi Cocoon, 700k shield. That's about a tenth of my health. In PvP. That's good. That's a nice little shield to help out. So on top of that, your Enveloping Mist is reduced mana cost by 15% for however long Yulon is active. I think it's 12 seconds. Yeah, for 12 seconds. So for 12 seconds, you get 50% off of your Enveloping Mist, and this allows you to hold on to your mana longer, because Enveloping Mist is one of your biggest heals now. So, yep. Cool. We got Yulon out of the way. Now we have Overflowing Mist. This is just passive. Basically explains why Enveloping Mist is good. Every time it heals, target. Can't do this. Sorry, I'm fried. Your mists heal the target for 1.2% of their maximum health each time they take direct damage. So if you have this up on somebody and they're getting hit, every time they get hit, they get healed for. Having a Mist Wrap. Duration by a second, healing bonus by 10%, way better than Refreshing talent in the game. Mist Wrap, talent, great. Get 10% more healing, biggest heal. So now, Gifts of the Celestials basically makes your unit, so you get that mana cost reduction on your Enveloping Mists every minute instead of every 3 minutes. And then we spec into Peer of a P. I'm not a fan of this talent, but it's the only way to get to Jadefire Teachings, which is what we need. It helps parse. That's pretty much it. It's better than Jadefire Stomp. So we spec into that, and that's only to get into Jadefire Teachings. And now this is where the new changes sort of all like come together. Whenever you press Jadefire Stomp, which we're not spec'd into, or Thunder Focus Tea, which we are spec'd into, and we have 2 charges, Ancient Teachings transfers an additional 140% damage to healing for 15 seconds. Active, you get 5% stamina. So just Thunder Focus Tea, you get 5% more stamina for 15 seconds. Pretty cool. So, this is we're gonna teleport over to this side of the tree. This can be used with Jade Empowerment. Jade Empowerment, whenever you press Thunder Focus Tea, it increases the damage of your next Crackling Jade Lightning by 800% and causes it to chain to 4 additional enemies. And these two, basically, whenever you press Thunder Focus Tea, you get this buff of Jade Empowerment, and then you also get Ancient Teachings, as well as 5% stamina. I want you to get that through your head. Whenever you press Thunder Focus Tea, 8% increased Crackling Jade Lightning damage, and whenever you do damage, you do healing for 15 seconds, and you get 5% stamina for those 15 seconds. So, these two, they work together, they're great together, it's the new change, and I'm a fan of it. Focus Thunder. Thunder Focus Tea now empowers your next 2 spells. Cool. Peaceful Mending. Ability. Scared Morning. Healing. Pretty much it. It's just passives. You don't have to worry about it. Not much to explain. Key of Serenity. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite talents on the right side of the tree. I love this talent. Whenever you press Thunder Focus Tea, you get 2 abilities empowered at random between Renewing Mist, Enveloping Mist, and Vivify. So, on top of the 2 Thunder Focus Teas that you proc, you also proc an additional 2. And these ones aren't normal. It doesn't just go to 4 stacks. You can proc either like it's really hard to explain this. I hate explaining it, but basically you can proc like an Enveloping Mist and a Renewing Mist like I did right there. Or you can proc like a Vivify and a Renewing Mist, or 2 Enveloping Mists, or 2 Vivifies. Or even 2 Renewing Mists. You can basically proc a random combination of Thunder Focus Tea, except for Expel, Harm, and can't proc them. Only these 3. If you want to proc Rising Sun Kick in Expel, Harm, you gotta spec in Plenty, and we don't spec into that because Plenty is trash. Sea of Serenity is good. So yeah, you have a chance to proc at random 2 of these 3 abilities right here. Completely randomized. So that is all the talents gone through. So now I'm going to explain how to do Massive Atonement as a Mistweaver monk, and basically, in a sense, Mistweaver. So what you're going to do is these two talents that I talked about, very important, you know what they do. So Thunder Focus Tea, we proc our ancient teachings. 140% of the damage we do is transferred to healing. So now, whenever we press our lightning, it does 252,000 damage a tick. If you crit, it's like 400k. And all of that, 140% of all of that damage that we did, that triple cleaved, by the way, so it was 2.83 mil damage, is going to be transferred into a I'm just gonna 100% of that 0.83, half of that 1.4, I'd say like 1.2. So probably I would say that is like a 4 million heal, and that is an AoE heal that smart heals, which basically means that the lower target gets all of the heal, still it more health, and you know, it basically just heals everybody for a lot. So that was a massive heal right there that we did. And to make this heal even more massive is we can use our modifiers. Now, one of our modifiers is a PvP talent called Zen Spheres. Whenever you pop one up on an ally, it heals for 250,000, pretty nice, and increases your healing done to the target by 15%. So we can pop this, pop our Thunder Focus Tea, use our Enveloping Mist, Rapid Diffusion, then procs a Renewing Mist so that we get 25% increased healing on top of 40% increased healing on top of 15% increased healing. We proc the Crackling Jade Lightning that has an 800% increase that also is increased by 140% of all of that damage into healing because of your ancient teachings, which makes that heal literally explosive, like 10 million healing plus. From all you got to do is you got to have a Zen Sphere up before, pop Thunder Focus Tea, pop Enveloping Mist, and you press that. That's all you gotta do, and you do 10 million healing in 3 globals. And if you don't press your Zen Sphere, you still do 10 million healing. The Zen Sphere is only a 15% increase compared to the 65% increase you get from pressing it, Enveloping Mist. So, there you go. That is how you do a lot of healing in 2 globals. And now we're going to run over the hero tree real quick, just explain how this works. And yeah, we're just going to go over it. A lot of these are passives, not much to go over. Basically, Master of Harmony has this thing where you store vitality whenever you don't have your Thunder Focus Tea popped, and then 10 seconds after you pop your Thunder Focus Tea, your abilities withdraw that vitality. So yeah. It's pretty lame. You don't really got to keep track of it. I don't really care about it. You shouldn't either. You should just treat it as a passive. If it's there, it's there. You get the healing. If you don't, you don't. There's no like, oh, I need to heal more because I'm out of my harmony phase and like all that. Just don't worry about that. Just press your healing as normal. And I'll explain some stuff real quick. Only things that you got to worry about is obviously you get an additional Thunder Focus Tea charge. Pretty cool. Love to see that. And then see what else is important. Mantra of Tenacity. This just helps you get a little bit more tanky. Every time you pop Fort Brew, you get 20% stagger. And you guys might not know what stagger means, but stagger is a Brewmaster thing, which a Mistweaver thing because of this talent tree. They let you spec into it. And basically, whenever you press Fort Brew, you get the benefits of Fort Brew. And then also, any damage you take during Fort Brew, or not Fort Brew, or any damage you take when you have, during Fort Brew, is staggered. And basically what staggered does, this means that this 20% of the damage that you take is going to be staggered over, like, I think 8 or 10 seconds. I'm not exactly sure the duration, but basically your damage is going to be spread out. Sort of like time dilation from an evoker, but 30% weaker in this scenario because it's only 20. So, yeah, it helps you be a little bit more tanky and manage the damage with a lot of high burst. So right here, G-Wave increases vitality stored by 25% for 5 seconds. And I remember when I was talking about the left tree, I'd said I'd get into this in a second. So every 15 seconds, your next Rising Sun Kick or Vivify releases a wave of Chi. So we need to know that every 15 seconds, whenever we press Vivify, we proc this. And whenever we proc this, it increases our vitality stored by 25%. for 5 seconds. And this is just like, okay, I press that Vivify, and it gives me more vitality. It's just good to know. You shouldn't try to purposefully proc it. Just play the game normally. It'll proc as it goes. It's just cool that those two can interact. This talent right here, whenever you press Tiger's Lust on anybody, you get a 5-second cooldown off your roll. So let's say you have Chi Torpedo in 5 seconds. That's 20 seconds. I pop Tiger's Lust, and then boom, I get 5 seconds off. I can press my Chi Torpedo again, except I can't because yeah. But yeah, 5 seconds off of your roll, or your Chi Torpedo in this case. Really, really cool. Otherwise, don't have to worry anything else about Master of Harmony. So yeah, and then something to just know, like, about like healing is that your vitality procs whenever you press Thunder Focus T. So when you do your Thunder Focus T, Enveloping Mist, Crackling Jade Lightning, you are also procking vitality and just disgusting amounts of healing whenever you press your Thunder Focus. So it's pretty much like, from my experience from the games that I played today and Shuffle pushing all the way up to number 1, it's pretty much just survive until the next Thunder Focus. That's just what it mostly is. Try to keep people up. So here I want to talk about some PvP talent changes. They made some changes. Zen Spheres now have a 6-second cooldown, which is pretty sad, but it's not that bad. It's still fine. And they also made some changes where it does a slight little heal whenever you press them, and some damage whenever you press it offensive. So basically, you want to press Sphere of Hope on the target that's being killed. So they're going to train like your Shadow Priest. You're going to put your Sphere of Hope on him and make sure to reapply it when it expires or when it's about to expire. And this just makes them take 15 more healing, which is a big modifier, you know? And then Sphere of Despair, if you have the global and it's off cooldown, you can toss a Sphere of Despair on the enemy, does like 200,000 damage to them. They deal 3% less damage overall, and they take 10% more damage from all sources, which includes you. If you want to get a little bit more parse out of your Crackling Jade Lightning, since Ancient Teachings does 140% of the damage done, you can take 10% more damage so that you get more healing. You know, you can do that. It's great to pop these up. Whenever you have a free global, I try to pop my friendly sphere, which is Sphere of Hope, before I put an offensive sphere up. So then the next change that they made is Zen Focus T is now a passive, and it procs whenever you press your Thunder Focus T. And this can be helpful because if I cast a Crackling Jade Lightning here, right here, it's kickable. And now since this is part of like your big healing, people could just like kick your proc. But when you play Zen Focus T, as soon as you pop your Thunder Focus T, you get the Ancient Teachings proc, and you get Aura Mastery for 5 seconds, so they can't kick you on this Crackling Jade Lightning cast, for like, you know, the most part. And I promise you 1 tick is enough. There's a clip of mine on my Twitch that has like 2,000 views right now. I pressed Crackling Jade Lightning and it topped my teammate 0 to 100 like a lay on hand. So yeah, you get Aura Mastery for almost the entire duration of the cast, if not the duration, if you're quick. So yeah, that's very important to just not get kicked on your healing. Obviously, you can get knocked or stunned during your crackle, but that doesn't happen. Just counterspell. Yeah, that is pretty much just the whole comprehensive guide. The talents will be in the description, as well as my armory with all of my gear. So you can copy my gear. You can have the exact stats that I have, and you can have the exact same amount of healing and everything that I do. Armory will be in the description. Talents will be in the description. Just look for those you can copy, and you can replicate this build for yourself. I'm not sure if I talked about it already, but the best races for Mistweaver are going Night Elf and Orc. And secondary, if you play like the second best race, it's anyways. Any questions? You can always go into my Twitch. I'm live almost every day. I answer every question in my chat. So if you have questions about this guide, about a certain talent or something, I will answer them. I rarely miss messages in my chat, and if I do, you can just let me know, and I will definitely answer question. Twitch links and Discord links, everything to get a hold of me will also be in the description. As you know, want to watch my Twitch for Mistweaver content. Anyways, that was my my 11.0 guide. Now, I will say one final thing. There is not a Fistweaver spec. This is the Fistweaver spec, since your Crackling Jade Lightning does a lot of damage when you get the damage. This is basically Fistweaver. I can pull up some details. Just kidding. I actually can't because I've been hitting the dummies for the past half an hour because I have something wrong with me. But yeah, it does, like, let's say in a shuffle round, 15, 10 mil. Depends if you're cleaving pets, maybe 20 mil. It does a lot of damage. Great. Definitely no more Fistweaver run in. Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, RSK. None of that anymore. Great. So, anyways, talents, Armory in the description. All links in the description. Any questions? Should be pretty easy to get a hold of me. I'm pretty addicted to being online, so I'll probably answer the question. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Sub to the channel, like this video so it gets recommended. I'm trying to increase my view count on YouTube stuff by making these videos and gameplay videos and all that. So I really appreciate you guys' support. It really means a lot to me. Out, guys. Hope you guys enjoy.